Hey y'all, Jordan Moorhead here. Wanted to give you a quick update on the Austin real estate market. It's been a weird year here. We've seen interest rates going up and down. And I wanted to give you the most accurate statistics looking back month over month. So we're talking January through February 2025. Of course, statistics, we look at the market in coming forward. So nobody knows what's going on in the future, but we can see what's happened in the past. And that's what we're going to talk about today. We're going to talk about both month over month, January to February, and then year over year stats. So when we talked back in January, the median home sales price in Austin had fallen to about 410,000. Not uncommon because December's super slow. So everything that's closing went under contract in January. Went under contract in December. Now it's closing in January. Closed sales were down quite a bit. They were down to 1761. And the month of inventory was up to 5.6. Again, over 6 months of inventory, that's what we consider a buyer's market. Under 6 months of inventory, in a seller's market. We're pretty dang close to a balanced market right now. Let's go over what it looks like month over month and then year over year. So month over month, the median sales price has gone up to 430,000. Again, this is not anything crazy because the market starts to pick back up in January. So everything that closed in February went under contract in January when more buyers were in the market. So of course the sales prices are going to go up. A lot of the people who were waiting to list till January probably listed their homes at higher prices because they weren't desperate to sell them before the end of the year. Closed sales, those were up to 1856 from 1761, but paying attention to the year over year statistics here, those are down 6.5% year over year. So the sales dollar volume, because more homes sold at a higher price, that's up to 1.05 billion from 942 million in January. Months of inventory, also not surprised this went up slightly. So it went up slightly to 5.7 months of inventory. Again, even closer to that 6 month mark. It's going with my earlier trend or prediction of we're in about a balanced market right now. We're as close to 6 months of inventory as we've been in over 10 years in Austin. New listings, of course, those are up 3,826. That's up 6.5% year over year too. Active listings, again, of course, that's up too because more listings are coming to the market. And there's still some listings that were sitting from January and December. The active listings were at 10,235 here now. That's up 16.7% year over year. So again, a lot of this is just because there's stuff that's sitting. You know, the longer it sits, the more likely you are to get more inventory coming in the market, causing there to be a glut. You know, because there's fewer buyers right now. The more inventory that comes to market and the more that sits, it just continues to pile up on top of each other. And that's where we're at now with over 10,000 active listings. Pending sales, that's up month over month. So more pending in February than January. But that's down about 5% year over year. Average days on market, believe it or not, this is actually down. So in February, homes set on the market for a shorter amount of time than they did in January. This is up 1 day year over year, not really a huge difference there. But something I thought was cool is the average close to list price is up month over month, and it's about flat year over year. So this is where somebody listed the home versus where it's sold. And again, this is a very interesting statistic, the average close to list price. We're assuming everybody lists the homes where they need to be listed. That doesn't happen a lot of times. A lot of times people will shoot a little high, then drop them a little bit. And what you're seeing here is that probably the price they need to be at is 93.6% of where they were listed versus listing them. Say we have a house at 550,000 that should be 520, 510, you know, more realistically. So not a crazy difference there because again, you're accounting for everybody's personal listings and that makes everything different. So what does this mean for buyers and sellers? I think this is the most important thing. This is the question we want to answer. So interest rates are actually the lowest they've been in over a year. That, of course, is good for both buyers and sellers. Good for buyers because that determines their mortgage payment. Good for sellers because the easier it is for buyers, the better it is for sellers on the mortgage side. Absolutely. So interest rate is best it's been in over a year. And as you can see, we have the most inventory we've had in quite a long time. So for buyers, you've got a lot more choices. I recently did a podcast that's going to be coming out soon with another realtor who's very active in our office. And we're both seeing the same things. Buyers have the upper hand, but for the great houses and the great areas that look great and are priced well, they're not just sitting around and waiting for everybody. In fact, we sold a $1 million home here recently for 10% higher than list price, got under contract in less than 24 hours. It was priced right. It looked amazing. It was in a great area. That all still works. You're still going to see that happen. So keep that in mind as a seller, but also keep that in mind as a buyer. Because if you're a buyer and you're out there thinking you can just do whatever you want, take as much time as you want, put in super lowball offers, sellers aren't just going to take less for their property. Most sellers have staying power or sticking power. They can hold on to their home. They can either rent it, they can stay in it. They don't have to just give it to you. Occasionally, as a buyer, you might find a seller that's really desperate. Maybe they bought their home 10 years ago. They owe way less than what they're trying to sell it for, and they might take a considerably lower offer. Again, we've seen offers as low as 25% below list price happen, and we've made that happen for our team here. So if you're a buyer, get out there, make it happen, look at properties, make aggressive offers, but don't think that every seller just needs to bow down to you and give you whatever you want, no matter what you want. I know interest rates are high. I know that affects your payment, but it's an amazing time to get a great deal on a home right now in the Austin area. If you're a seller, it's all about price. You have to price your home really well. It has to look great. Everything needs to shine. This is the time, if you're a seller, you could still sell it. Again, we just got one under contract in less than 24 hours. Make it look amazing. Make it look perfect. The best home ever. That you can't believe your home could ever look like that, or your rental property could ever look like that. Price it right, and it will sell quickly. Where buyers are not right now is they are not willing to go in and paint the home or change out the flooring or do those updates you never really got around to, but you'd really like to let the buyer make it their own. I think that's the most common thing I heard. Well, I'll just let the buyer do it. I'll let them make it their own. It's not the time to do that unless you just want to discount the heck out of it and sell it for next to nothing. Make it look amazing, spend that money up front, and you're going to get it back, and you're going to get that home sold quickly and for the best price possible. If y'all have any questions at all, I'm always here to help. Jordan.moorhead@kw.com and 512-888-9122. Have a great day. Talk to you soon.